Hi, I'm Nick, indie fantasy author and author of Fate's Conscripts, which can go on Amazon. Today I have no bandana, so you get my unfiltered, unadulterated hairline. Sorry to inflict that on you. Today I'm answering the question, what's your favorite book about writing? And I can't really narrow it down to one, so I'm going to choose three. And which one is my favorite kind of depends on where I was at when I read them, but also for you, where you're at in your writing journey. So if you're brand spanking new and you're starting out, I would say you should go with my number one pick, which is, unsurprisingly, Stephen King's On Writing. I think it's the sort of single best, almost like writing 101 or fiction writing 101. And, it's by a guy who's done a whole lot of it. So that's always better than, getting advice from some rando on the internet who's only published one book like me. My second one, which is still really good if you're a beginner, but I think it's less about, the nuts and bolts of writing and the sort of, the On Writing also has some philosophical aspects, but number two is Anne Lamott's Bird by Bird. I think that book is probably the best for knowing what it is to be a writer, what that life is like, what your priorities should be, and how much space writing should take in your life. I recommend it to all my writer friends. One of the biggest reasons why is it sort of will dispel the obsession with being published that most, if not all, newer writers have, and some less new writers. And then number three, this is for if you want to get really tactical about your writing process and you want to get really good at finishing books. I'm blanking on the name of the author, so I'll add it in the text, but it's the Novelist Bootcamp. Honestly, one of the hardest parts about being a writer outside of just doing it is actually getting a process that works for you. And that book is kind of one of the best ways to do that I've seen. It's kind of got the most, hammered out, clear one. Well, that helps.